Over the years, I have made several tutorials regarding how to use macOS for first timers. If you don't know, macOS is Apple's desktop operating system. Unlike Windows, Apple controls the hardware and the software, so you can't buy an HP laptop with macOS installed. If you want macOS, you need to buy hardware from Apple. Now, I've been a Mac user for nearly 14 years, and what I love about macOS is how simple it is to use and how well it really does work between other devices. In the last few years, Apple has done an amazing job at enhancing the experience of macOS, such as Universal Clipboard, Universal Control, iPhone mirroring, and more. Back when I began using macOS, those features didn't exist, and so the experience between devices was more apparent. Today, you can pick up where you left off from one device and continue on another. In this video, I will take you through the basics of macOS. So if you're just starting out, you might find this video useful. If you want to skip parts of this video, press the chapters below. For this video, I have created a new user account. That way it looks more or less the same to you if you're starting out on Mac. So let's get started. So the first thing I do when setting up a new Mac is change the trackpad and mouse settings. Now, depending on what you use, the same will apply. So by default, the tracking speed is very slow. There are two ways to access these settings. Here in the dock, or if you go to the very top of the screen, you'll see an Apple logo. If you select the Apple logo, you'll see a list of options. For now, we'll click on Settings. If you've got a much older version of macOS, this is known as System Preferences. Here in Settings, we'll scroll down to where it says Mouse or Trackpad, and under Point and Click, we can see the tracking speed slider. Now, I typically slide this all the way up to fast because I use a trackpad. Having on the fast setting ensures that you can get from one side of the screen to another with little effort. The next tip is useful if you come from Windows. If we go further down, you'll see an option for secondary click. If you use a mouse or trackpad, this will differ. With the trackpad, I'll set this to click or tap with 2 fingers. With the mouse, it will allow you to select the right-hand side of the mouse, like on Windows. Next, you may have noticed a smiling icon at the bottom of your screen in the dock. This is Finder. So for context, Finder is more or less the Mac version of the File Explorer in Windows. If we click it, a new window opens. On the left, there are folders, such as your apps, home folder, and more. These can be easily customized by going to the top of the screen and select Settings under Finder. If you go to the Sidebar tab, we have the ability to remove or add other folders. If we come out of that and select View and Show Path Bar, this gives you breadcrumbs and a location of the folder you're in. If you go back to the same menu and select Show Tab Bar, we can now open more windows within one Finder window. This is useful if you want to move files to and from various locations. If you want to add any apps to your dock, select Apps from the dock. Here you'll see a grid of all of the apps you have on your Mac. Now, if you've got an older version of macOS, this is referred to as the Launchpad. Click and hold on an app from here and then drag it to the dock for easier access. If you want to remove an app from the dock, click and drag it upwards until you see the word remove and then let go. The app shortcut has now been removed from the dock. Now, if you recently moved from Windows, this next tip might confuse you. As a Windows, when you need to close an app, you can press the X button. But on macOS, this works a bit differently. If we open the Calendar app and click on the red button in the top left corner, you'll notice that the menu bar is still displaying Calendar. To close an app, we go to the menu bar, select the app, and then quit. Or you can use the shortcut Command and Q. Now, some apps on macOS will quit with the red button, but most won't, so it's good to keep that in mind. Now you will encounter a time when an app isn't responsive or has crashed. This can happen, and when it does, go to the menu bar, click the Apple logo and select Force Quit. This will show you a list of open apps. If an app isn't responsive, it'll be displayed next to it. But in this example, if I select Calendar and the Force Quit button, it will quit the app completely. Now, 6 years ago with macOS Big Sur, the control center was introduced. If we go to the menu bar and to the right, you'll notice a button icon. If we click it, you'll see a wealth of controls such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, display, volume and more. If you go to Edit Controls, there's a wealth of controls you can add to the control center. If you wish to drag a control to the menu bar, press the command button and drag it to the menu bar. This is very useful if you want quick access to a certain control. If we click on the time and date, this is Notification Center. So all of your notifications and SMS messages will appear here. You also have the option to add widgets here, but also to the desktop. If we click on Apps and select App Store, this is where you can find a place to download apps. It's worth checking out, but most apps you can download off the internet. It's a lot safer to download apps from the App Store than online, but most apps you can get off the internet come from respected developers. So that was just a taste of what macOS can do. If you want to learn more about macOS, I recommend watching MacMost, MacVince and Craig Needall. I will leave links to their channels below. Making this video did take me quite a bit of time, so if you can, please leave me a like and a sub below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.